Um, right. So some housekeeping first. Uh, um, you should have a small group already. If you don't, please make sure that you find a partner. So I'm not sure if anyone doesn't have a partner. Um, you, let me see, I can't see. Okay, can you just raise your hand if you don't have a partner? Or if you can't turn on your video, just use the raise hand feature on your Zoom if you do not have a partner, because I'm not sure everyone posted. Okay, Sia, are you saying you two, Caroline, are you guys saying you don't have a partner?
Yes, I don't have a partner.
Oh, okay. Well, since the two of you are the only ones who did that, do you guys want to partner up?
I don't mind, sir.
Sia, are you laughing or were you eating something now?
I was eating.
Oh, okay. I thought you were
I
laughing.
also have a twin brother. Maybe we can join as well.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, two of you and Caroline, if that's okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay,
I'm
so just
fine.
post on stream, right? Because I'm not sure who else doesn't have a partner. Oh, Tala. Oh, okay. Um, hmm. Okay, Tala, can you guys maybe Sia, you guys, there are four of you, right? So Tala, Sia, what's your brother's name again?
Sibo.
Jibo.
Sibo.
Sibo, right?
That's
Okay. Okay, Sibo and Caroline. So since there are four of you, you guys can probably get together, and if you want to split your team into groups of two, you can do that. Maybe Sia, you don't want to be with your brother, or just to mix things up for variety. Right. So please, if you haven't raised your hand, make sure that you do find a partner. We're going to be starting some stuff, and it'll be good for you to get together. Um, so you guys should have been thinking about your research questions. Um, it should have been giving you sleepless nights. If you haven't, then you're not doing it right. Um, but you should be thinking about that. But we're not going to focus on that this week. You have a lot of work. I think 2 paragraphs are due on Friday that you should be working on. Also, mm, let me see. Yes. Okay. So the long weekend did not affect us, so that's good. Right. I have posted some things on the stream. Right. You'll notice that I've posted a YouTube video. One of them is about Google tips and tricks and things and how to use Google search function. Um, it gives you a basic idea of how to search for stuff, more advanced than people just typing in the search box and searching. And I also posted new material in the classwork section. So if you go to the classwork section, let me just share my screen so you can see. If you go to the classwork section, okay, you should be seeing my screen now. Here, under sources, if you click on sources, it'll show you here writing research papers, right? So I want you to read through this chapter on finding web-based resources. So if you go through these, it's not long, it's just like 23 pages. It's an easy read. It will help you as well with your with what we're going to cover today, right? So please read through this after our class is over. And you can have a clearer understanding, a more in-depth detail picture of what is expected. So today we're going to look briefly at the aspects of finding sources, or sourcing research literature for your research paper. Now, obviously, this is in an ideal situation. You won't be using this when you do your research question. You won't. Depends on your topic, but you probably not at this stage when you start with your research projects next year or the year after, then you're gonna need this, okay? So I want to basically explain to you how this works. Now, when you write a research paper, you have to find information about your research paper. So generally, when you want to find background information, where's the first place you stop? When you want to find information about something, there's no right or wrong answer. You just tell me what you do. What's the first thing you do? Besides ask your mom and dad.
Google.
Google. Okay. Yes. Yes. Google. Yes. Everybody goes to Google, and then once you type what you want to know in Google, what's the first thing that pops up? What's the first page that pops up when you're looking for information? Like, let's say you want information on the latest Avengers movie. You go to Google and you type Avengers. Generally, what's the first page that pops up in most cases?
Oh, like, well, it's the one with all the different, sites to choose. I don't know.
Okay, okay. I think let's do this again, right? Let me just go here. Let's see. Oh, here's Google, right? So let's say we're in Google, right? And I want to take a romantic trip to Paris. No, not Paris Hilton. Paris, France. Let's be more specific, unless we get some strange hits. Okay, so we hit search, right? So what's the first? See this? Let me see if I can.
No, you mean Wikipedia or
Yeah, there we go. So
okay.
this is usually what pops up, right? So people go to Wikipedia, the free encyclopedia, right? And now I will find all the information I want to about Paris, right? So usually this is the first stop. So people go to Wikipedia. Now, first, let me tell you, Wikipedia is great for background information, but only for background information. So as in a diving board, a springboard to other more credible sources, because as we know, everybody can add information to Wikipedia, right? It's not exactly the most valid or creditable source of information, right? So you use Wikipedia as a starting point, get some ideas, background information on a topic. Okay, sometimes they'll include links to something more serious, but generally your professors will not encourage you to use Wikipedia in your research, right? Because we cannot account for the information there. There's no referencing, etc., right? But as you said, everybody goes to Google, right? Now, Google is a great search engine. And let me just explain to you. As you know, I'm very old. So when I did my master's degree, it was a long time ago in like 2008. And back then, the internet was not so popular. You had email and you had general features, but the libraries were a little slow to catch on, right? So when I went to the university, we still did the library thing, right? We had to go to the library and we had to find books. And if your library didn't have a particular book, you had to tell the librarian and she'd order the book for you from another library that had it. And that would take a while. And obviously, either you sat in the library and you used your books to write your research paper, or you checked out all the books, in which case you had like 30 plus books in your bags. And if you didn't have a car, well, developed a very strong core. And your core muscles were exceptionally well defined. And you took all these books home. These days, we have the internet, and all the libraries are connected, and you have databases, right? Massive databases. So basically, you at your fingertips, you have access to the world's entire store of knowledge, which creates an interesting problem. Whereas previously, you struggle to find access to information. Now you have so much information, you don't know what to do with all of it, right? And obviously you can't include all of this information in your research. So now the challenge is finding information that is one, a credible source of information, in other words, valid, trustworthy, and two is how to sift through all the information, right? Now, let me introduce you to your best friend for those of you who are going to be getting your degree, and for those of you that are going to graduate school and beyond, right? This is your new best friend. Let me introduce you. There we go. Right now, everyone has heard of Google, right? Now, this is a lesser known, but also Google, right? It's called Google Scholar. And I'm very sad to see that, oh, there it is. Yeah. So this is one of my favorite sayings. It says, stand on the shoulders of giants, right? So this is Google Scholar. Does anybody want to take a guess what stand on the shoulders of giants mean? Anybody want to? What do you think stand on the shoulders of giants means? I can't see you guys, so just unmute yourself and talk. It's fine. No ideas? Stand on the shoulders of giants. Nobody? Okay, so basically it means that many people, many very, very smart people have done research, right? So stand on the shoulders of giants means based on the knowledge they contributed to our world or society, then we stand on their research, right? Like for example, we know that eating carbs will make you fat because of research. We know that eating too much sugar is not good for you. We know that consuming too much salt is also not good for you. So basically, all the research that was conducted to give us that knowledge was done by people who pioneered work in that particular area. So stand on the shoulders of giants means we continue their work, right? Okay, so Google Scholar. You should put this in your favorites because for the next decade or more of your life, you'll be using this. Now, Google Scholar is a specific search engine. It basically deals with research, right? When you type your search function in here, it will give you research. So it is the most used database, more than EBSCO, more than any of the other databases, because it does everything, right? So let's say we are researching sugar. Well, sugarcane, here we go, right? You will find books, you will find journal articles, right, on sugar. You'll find suggestions or related searches and so on, right? The sustainability of ethanol production, right? Also, these are all research articles, right, related to sugar. Now, the video will show you how to refine your search and so on and so on. So, for example, you can also search for your professors if you want. And see what they got up to. And this is me. And you can see my profile, etc., papers, and so on and so on, right? So when you type into Google Scholar, well, not that, but when you type into Google Scholar your search, let's say language teaching, right? You'll get lots of articles. And let's say sometimes you will find on this side of the page, right, you will see it says PDF academia.edu, or it'll say PDF and the URL or the where it's available. Now, this means you can click on this and it will take you to the place where you can find, for example, the article for itself, like for example, simulations in teaching, right? So the PDF will be available to you here, right? Where you can download or you can read right? Or where you can find it. Now, this is a useful feature of Google Scholar in that it shows you where to get the article, because sometimes you have to pay. So Google, instead of paying, it finds a source or looks for a source where you can get the article for free, like in this case, right? Here's the article and it's for free. Now, all of these articles you use for your research. Okay, so when you start with your research topic, you type it in to Google Scholar and you'll find all the articles that you want. Right, like we were talking about language teaching, we'll say mobile, okay, mobile assisted language learning, right? So here on the left-hand side, you can see it says anytime, sort by relevance, patents, and so on. Now, I just want to go over the brief of over the search function. This is the article name. These are the authors and the journal, right? And here on the right-hand side, sometimes you'll find where you can find it for free, or where you can find it and maybe you have to pay. So you can save your search, right? Or you can see how to cite. Now this is very important. It's got all the different styles of citation: MLA, APA, Chicago, Harvard, Vancouver. Now for those students who are in the social sciences or sciences, APA is the world's most popular format. For those of you who are in theology, Chicago, okay, or Harvard, it depends. But I think the theology department is using the Chicago style of referencing, right? So that's under cite. Then it'll tell you how many people the article was cited by. As you can see, in this case, this article 388. And then related articles, it'll show you all the articles related to that, right? So this is basically your Google Scholar. Now, this is not Google in general. If you type your search into Google General, it'll take you to any website. Here, it only takes you to academic papers, articles, books, etc., right? Published on Google Books and so on. So Google Scholar is a very important part of your search. So before you go to Wikipedia and you can read up on that. If you are serious, then go straight to Google Scholar, type your search in there and start searching. It will give you all the information that you need from multiple databases. And then from here, you can start looking for more serious, focused articles on your topic, right? So if you are looking for information on a specific area like medicine or law or theology and so on, you'll go to the websites or the databases that specialize in those areas. So for those of you in psych, you go to probably LLBA, language learning or linguistics or abstracts, or you'll go to PubMed for psychiatric papers. The theology people, I don't know where you go, but you need to talk to your theology professors and find out what databases you use. But I think Sage has certain databases and so on. But when you get to your specific faculty next year, in your third year or in your final year, they will tell you which specific databases to use based on your area of study. Okay. Now, as I told you before, finding credible sources on the internet is a little bit difficult if you're using a Google general search. You have to be very careful. Who you must check who said it, why they said it, who paid for them to say it, right? Now, when you are conducting your research, you will go to you have magazines on the internet, you have newspapers on the internet. All of these sources have to be acknowledged in your paper. In other words, you have to say where you found your information. So we will discuss that at a later stage about referencing and in-text referencing at the end of your paper and so on, right? We'll find that. But for now, right, when we look at the sources, I would rather prefer that you stick to Google Scholar and use Google Scholar as your primary source for your information. Now, for your research question, which you are going to be busy with, you may not necessarily choose a topic that Google Scholar will offer you information on, which is fine. You can use Google as a regular search engine, not Google Scholar. You can just use Google and get your information off of Google, but be careful, as I said, where you find that particular information, because it may not be credible. Just check to see the websites and so on. Okay. In addition to that, the library. So I did some digging for us, and our library does have something called EBSCO, which is also popular. Let me just see if I can find it for you. EBSCO, where'd it go? The sources. Here we go. EBSCO. So if you go to our library, and in the library, it will say EBSCO, or it'll say EBSCO at the top of the Heidelberg College webpage, right? So this is EBSCO, EBSCO. And then you'll see it says Heidelberg College, which means our college pays for access to this database. This is similar to Google Scholar. It's not as powerful because it searches specific articles that are available to EBSCO, whereas Google Scholar is more of a shotgun blast and it covers such a vast field. EBSCO is more focused solely on academic journals and so on and so on. So here as well, you can type in your searches, right? Here at the top, this is your search bar. You can include extra information in this area as well, or you can do a basic search, right? Which, okay, you want to click on research databases. So it will take you here. So you're going to click on academic search elite, right? Eric is good, right? You're going to skip all this other stuff here because it's for high school and we don't need it. But the last one, ebook collection, we want that, right? Click on continue. It'll take you to your search with more search options here. So here you can find all my search terms. So all of the terms that you put in the box, or just any of the search terms that you put in the box, you can refine your search, right? You can click on whichever box fits your particular search for that particular topic. And again, you can limit your results, the dates, publications, which language you want to search for, and so on. And then at the back, you go publication type. So you've got periodical, book. If you are unsure, just go all, right? And then here, this is a feature I find very useful. You can choose the document type, right? So you can see essay and so on, speech, and you can search. Here we go, book chapter, book entry, case study. Abstracts, I like abstracts. Abstracts are easy to read. They don't contain the entire article. They're quick, very, very quick. And then you can choose that. And if you go further down, there are more restrictions that you can refine your search. So you don't come back with a search of 100,000 hits, right? So if you do something very vague and you type, for example, language, right? Now have a look at this, right? So now let's say you're trying to find something on language and you get a search hit of 835,922 items. It's going to take you a very long time to go through all of that, right? So you can whittle this down like to academic journals, right? Just by going academic journals, right? We've cut it down now to 500,000. Okay, so you can further limit to full text, right? And then you can change the date to also go when you're searching for information, best to go like, you know, the last 10 years, or in our case, let's make it the last, yeah, let's say from 2010, right? That'll cut it down further to, what's our score now? 58,000, right? And you can keep whittling this down further to, let's say, language, right? English, okay, drops to 57,000, not a big difference. But you keep going and you keep going till eventually, let's say EBSCOhost, right? In other words, some articles you'll find you have to pay for. It's not free, right? And then your search results are down to 30, right? And so on. So basically you get the idea. right? This is available on our college page for you later when you start searching, okay? So that is the basics for searching for information that you need to use, right? Please don't try to log into EBSCO from your browser. It will ask you for your institutional ID and login. It's best to go via the library. So go to the page, the library homepage, and you can log in via the library. So then it's paid, and you can have access to EBSCO. Okay. All right. Any questions? No questions? Everybody good? Okay, I don't know how many people fell asleep during that. But yeah, please read through the chapter. The chapter will give you more information about other sources that you can find that are available, how to use encyclopedias and online databases and search for more information. Also the video on how to use Google, how to search for exact phrases, how to search for something without some key search terms and so on. You can have a look at that during the week. And also don't forget your paragraphs are due on Friday. Okay. One more thing, when you are searching for information, I'll give you a quick hack. At the end of an academic paper, you'll find the reference list, right? Everybody does this. It's kind of a hack, but it's a lazy hack, right? So if you don't want to go and do all the hard work, just go to the reference list, right? Find the reference list at the end, and you can see all the sources of the information for the article. And then you can go to that particular article, they'll give you more information, okay? Of course, you're going to reference it. It's not really cheating, but it's a great way to cut out a lot of work that you don't need to do and give you an idea of what to search for, okay? Cool. All right. So you have your work cut out for you this week. I hope you have a good week. Say no to drugs. If there aren't any questions, yeah, you guys smiling, yeah. Okay. If you don't have any questions, I will see you next week. Please send your paragraphs to me via email. Okay, that's the safest way. You guys have my email address, right? It's naiduR@hce.za.something.some. Okay, you can find it on the module outline. Just kidding. No, naiduR at Heidelberg College Higher Education, ACZA. Okay, cool. All right, have a great day. See you guys. Ciao. Bye-bye.